in 4 Nigerian fathers are raising another man's child. Wow. So bad. 80% of men run DHS for peace of mind. When a woman is pregnant, the first child is mostly pinned on the wrong person.
It will shock you that most of this paternity fraud, the actual father is somebody that's
close.
Someone close.
Our brothers.
It can be.
And they are aware that
you're married, that this is your wife.
Yeah. Nigeria is second place in terms of paternity fraud. If you get into a marriage situation, your in-laws are looking at you like, why is there no baby yet? So maybe you lived a wrong life. Maybe, so it's always the woman who takes that responsibility. It's the woman who takes that load.
What could be the reasons of this paternity fraud?
Hi, I'm Hitabel.
Hi, I'm Emaidio.
And hi, I'm MM.
And
you're welcome to Truth in Bikinis,
where we strip down life's toughest issues to its core truth.
Well, at least the ones that tend to affect women.
And today, we'll be talking about paternity fraud. 1 in 4 Nigerian fathers are raising another man's child.
Wow.
So bad. So today we'll be talking about it. It's just so rampant and it's so bad. So we need to know what paternity fraud is all about. What do you understand?
Okay.
How does it occur?
Personally, I understand paternity fraud as, a form of deception that happens where a person, a woman, right, has a child with a man, but is not actually the person that's known to be the father. This is supposed to be the father under our agreement, but it's not actually that man's father. Yeah. Pretending that the child you've given birth to is the child of a man, that it isn't. That's paternity fraud. So whether it's in a marriage context, even in a baby daddy context, carrying another man's child to claim that it belongs to a particular person, that's paternity fraud. Straight up lies and deception. Wahala.
Yeah, so simply it just means a woman misleading a man into believing that he is the father of her child when he is not. And it's so bad. And then I also think, what could be the reasons of this paternity fraud?
I think there are a lot of reasons why these things happen. We're going to have to look at the I'm even thinking that maybe they've exaggerated the statistics, that Nigeria is second place in terms of paternity fraud. Maybe a bit exaggerated, but we've gotten to this place and we're looking at, okay, what's really the cause of this problem? I think there are quite a number of issues that we can find as a problem or that's associated or that brings about all of these things. So why would a woman just go ahead and conceive a child from another man and then brings it and give to another person? And I think it's mostly in marriage situation, So there's a part that infidelity plays in it, but it seems like infidelity has to be one of the lowest causes when it comes to paternity fraud, because there's cultural issues, there's infertility issues, and I think there are quite a number of issues like the general custom, Nigeria cultural setting. So those are all of the things that we need to look at. There are cultural issues because it's like men. I wanted to check out the statistics, but I don't know what it's like. But it seems like in most marriage situation, men do not agree that they can be the cause of infertility. Men never take the responsibility for that. And because of that, the woman takes the responsibility. If you get into a marriage situation, your in-laws are looking at you like, why is there no baby yet? So maybe you lived a wrong life. Maybe, so it's always the woman who takes that responsibility. It's the woman who takes that load. And most times the men just cut like, I'm a man. Like, I can impregnate anybody. If you're not getting pregnant, you need to go and check yourself. In fact, I impregnated somebody in secondary school. And if you're not getting pregnant, you need to check yourself. So it's like, it's women that bear the grunt of this whole issue of fertility. There's that issue as well. The fact that men do not take that responsibility. So how are women sorting out this matter? How are they sorting it out? Because you can't sit there are families that call family meetings. Like, why is our son no child yet? Maybe 4 years, maybe 5 years. And sometimes you don't get any backup. Like, sometimes your husband doesn't stand up to defend you. Yeah, because he's not gonna my auntie, my mother is asking you why there's no child. Answer her now. So
yeah.
I kind of feel like these are one of those issues, and it looks as though women have found a way to sort out the problem, even though it's not the correct way. Because when you call your partner and say, okay, let's go for testing, because ideally, after a number of periods, you don't have children as a married person, the ideal thing is to go for checkup. Check, okay, who is responsible? What's the problem? And how can we start treatment? If it's something that can be treated, let's get onto it. But in a situation where the man does not come with you, so you go as a woman and you check and there's nothing wrong
with you. They want to test.
And he will never agree to that is the problem. So what happens? Most of these women, out of frustration, maybe waiting for a number of years, before you know it, they get involved with another man, and they're pregnant. And they're like, oh, so it's possible. And of course, you're pregnant in your husband's house. And you're looking for a baby. You're not going to go and tell him that. You're not going to go and tell him that this baby is not your own.
If, the financial motives, there are some women that would want to pin pregnancy on some men. Maybe because, let's say, for instance, the person that impregnated them is an agbero.
Yeah.
And now they saw a responsible young man who also liked them. And if you want to now set the scale, this one is an agbero who I mistakenly got pregnant for, and then this other man is there. They might want to pin this pregnancy, because if they put to bed now for this agbero and then tell him this is your child, they know quite well that child will grow up sipping Gary all through his life, his or her life. Then they know quite well, okay, if this child belongs to this man, if I tell him he can take care of this child, this child's future is secured.
Yeah.
So they now kind of want to pin the pregnancy on this man. They'll tell, oh, I'm pregnant too, and you're the father. So they just rush up. And that's why if you want to check the statistics, firstborns are often affected. So that means when a woman is pregnant, the first child is mostly pinned on the wrong person.
Yeah.
Yes, they said 64%.
What kind of statistics is that?
64% of firstborns are affected. That's
it's actually because if they have a first child, their first child is suspiciously close to after they've got married, that could actually be a thing. Because when she was saying it, I was like, that's actually common. I do hear about that. I think it's also commonly presented in the media as well. Yes. The whole, I got pregnant for this person, but I don't want this person to be the father of my kids. I would prefer this one. This one will give my child a good life that I want, or also give me a good life that I want.
Yes.
So they would end up pinning the responsibility of that child to that person. So there's one series, Modern Family, it's very funny because the way they did it, she was very obviously pregnant. Okay, let's say she claimed to be pregnant for the guy that she's married to, and I was like, oh, let's get married. Because I want to keep the baby, but I don't want to carry a baby without being wed. Yeah. So he said, okay, let's get married and blah, blah, blah. So during the wedding, her stomach was actually coming out. And her brother now asked her, so you got pregnant 2 months ago, right? You guys started dating 2 months ago, because they didn't date for a long time. You guys started dating 2 months ago. And you also got pregnant 2 months ago.
How come?
And then the husband was there. She was like, oh yeah, shut up. And then she just went aside and she still went and got married to the man. So it was a gag and a joke, because what made it a gag and a joke was that it was very obvious that she's not pregnant for this man.
It's not the same guy.
Yes, he just doesn't, he's not aware of the progression of pregnancy. Yeah. So, I think shortly after she was even giving birth, she was like, wait, isn't the baby supposed to come at this set time? So I think it's a thing that's portrayed in the media. It's something that's actually happening, that someone gets pregnant for somebody that they would not like to be their husband, father of their kids, and they just rush and look for someone that wants to marry them that is good enough and just hitch them. And that's how it is.
And there's this other one they call fake cryptic pregnancy, where these fraudulent medical practitioners would they will inject estrogen into their victims. All these women that need babies, and they will tell you, come, this is a fertility clinic, we give babies. So they would now inject this estrogen, high estrogen, into these women, and then it will make their stomach bloated. They will tell them, they will give them instruction, you don't go to the scan, because if you go for scan, it will affect the baby. So those women, when a woman is really looking for a baby, every instruction will be taken seriously. So when they give that instruction, they'll tell you after like 9 months, you come back.
Yeah.
After 9 months, they will go and look for babies somewhere. If it was 1 or 2 you paid for, they will get for you from God's nowhere they got those babies from. And they will now give you, is it sedatives, drugs that will make you sleep. And they will now do the surgery, their fake surgery. When you wake up from the sleep, they show you a baby, that this is your baby. Whereas it's fake. It's fake. So a woman can now believe this is my baby. And the man also believes this is my baby.
Okay.
But when they now go for, let's say, peradventure, they want to fly out of the country, or the man just wants to run a DNA test for peace of mind. And then they run a DNA test. And
for peace of mind.
no, 80% of men run DNA test is for peace of mind. For peace of mind. Then the other one is just maybe for immigration and so on.
Is it
But
really
the rest,
for peace of mind?
it's
Because
This child is behaving somehow. Let me be sure.
this child does not look like me. Oh.
and you know that since DNA is just so common now, and they are hearing it, DNA here, DNA, I will just look at how am I sure this baby is my
It's
child.
mine, yeah.
So let me run a DNA test.
Wow.
That's
And
crazy.
peradventure now they run the DNA test, and that
And it's
baby
not-
happen not to be theirs.
I can
And it can be
imagine
so
how
sad.
many people have raised random people's children under their roof
Yeah,
without,
without knowing. It's
you know,
sad.
like without the
seriously.
advent of
Sad,
DNA.
but there's the argument that men are actually getting paid in their own coins.
Okay.
Yeah, there's that argument, like it's like our society allows men to be philanderers, like cheats, just have multiple partners.
Yeah.
So is it that women are waking up to it and also accepting that, okay, so if you can, maybe me too, I can as well. And
There's this popular saying, before women had divorce, they had poison. So I don't think it's today that, I think, we are coming to more of an awareness, but I think there's always been kind of that resentment. It existed in history, and it's just maybe now with the advent of the internet, it's in our face.
Social media.
Social media is making it in our face, because
Yeah.
I'm very sure that this is not the first time things like this are happening. Like I said, before women had divorce, they had poison. If you notice, like in a lot of stories, you hear, oh, this man died of a mysterious heart attack, this one, blah, blah, blah. Like they'll have wicked husbands, and they are just like, you know what? Yeah, the society is not here to help me, I help myself. So whether their revenge is poisoning the man that they married, whether the revenge is having another man's child, having him raise it secretly, I think things like that have kind of really always been there. It's just that now with DNA testing, with social media, it's in our face.
Yeah.
So like just like how there's always been war, but now it just feels a lot more real because we are actively seeing
it,
things.
yeah,
We are seeing everyone's talking about it, so it's very different now. So I don't even think I wouldn't think it's a new thing. I don't think it's a new concept. I don't think it's something that's just happening. I think it's something that has been there. It's just that now the technology to record and find out the actual statistics is more accessible. It's accessible to all of us, and in that because you'll be surprised of the types of, and yes, it does come from a place of resentment, like you said. You'll be surprised what women are doing these days. The communities some married women put themselves in, like, it will shock you. It's until the day that they now come and ask you, hey, so your husband is scum. All our husbands are scum. See what we are doing. Like, yes,
See what we are
there are
doing.
people that are like that. They will get involved in like so many things in the sense of like, damn, there's nothing to help
if I'm
me
not,
here. This man
It's
does
like
not
everybody-
respect me enough to attempt to be faithful to me. Nobody is going to respect my decision to leave him. What do I do?
Yeah, because
You
the
do me, I do
society
you
is
back.
big on that. There's a lot of stigma to separation, divorce, women, especially on women. Like she's divorced and she has a child, and no. So women are now ready to stay and find a way to have peace of mind.
Yes.
You know?
And there is this isolation itself, because for single mothers, there's this ill treatment the community kind of gives single mothers.
Okay.
So when a lady gets pregnant and she's not certain of who the father is, So instead of remaining a single mother, she can just pin that pregnancy on someone. Let me just get married instead of being a single mother. Because when you become a single mother now, the society will be like, oh, this one is single. There's these stereotypes, there's this ill treatment on single mothers, and it's very bad.
Okay, but the point I wanted to raise is this. There's one of the points we're not looking at is the fact that families are now agreeing to separation in terms of this Japa issue. Men leave their wives for very long periods, like just to maybe in search of greener pastures, for a job, and they come back after maybe months. There are some who now stay abroad because it's better, they earn better there. So they stay abroad and they've not finalized the process of moving their family over there. So they leave their wives for long periods.
Some 5 years.
Yes, there are people who leave. Okay, there was even a story of one
woman,
on
5
the
years.
time, like 5 years,
years,
the husband is away from the wife. Now, I know that man is not faithful wherever he is. Yes, he's not. Let's not even... He's not faithful wherever he is. So what are you expecting from the woman?
But
there are families who have... There's one we heard a story that they both had an agreement. Okay, you have your own partner. I'll have my own. We must know who the partners are. So the husband has a partner abroad. She has her own partner here. The husband says, you get a partner here. Let me know who the person is, and all of that. And then we'll just...
That's open marriage.
I think that's a lot more healthy than whatever else they were going to do. Because... human beings, they have their... Not like I support, I personally don't feel like to even
be apart for too long.
For that long. Can you really...
But families are being put under that pressure because they are looking for, trying to balance finances and balance the cost of living and everything. And it's a good idea, but just that it hasn't put into consideration all of the feelings, all of that.
That even let's say what happens if the kids walk in or something, or like how do they even rationalize that type
really
of
hasn't
thing?
Put into, and I think that's one of the issues too, because this whole increase, Nigeria getting to number 2, a lot of men have had to move over time, and a lot of women are just left there and expected to just hold their peace. Well, and husbands can be out for 7 months, like. The wife just be reading the Bible and trusting the Lord.
And that one that said 5 years, he went 5 years without visiting the family, only for him to hear that the wife gave birth.
Hey.
And that was when he returned to be sure that this is true. Some people were like, so you can come back.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So you purposely stayed there for 5 years. So now
because he's having his... he's settled wherever he is. I'm
he
serious.
didn't even inform her.
You can
think about it. He doesn't have to worry about his wife's anything or his kids complain or anything. Like, he doesn't have to worry about his family.
Care.
The only thing he just needs to do is...
I can't even vouch
ceremony.
I can't vouch for... If you can... you can count the number of men on my fingertips. I can count. The number of men that can stay that long without their wives and be faithful.
Hell.
You can count.
1
I'm telling
in 100.
And then you now leave your wives. I'm not even saying I support it because... I have my own rules as to those engagements, but not saying that I support it, but why leave your wives for so long? And why not talk about it? Okay, how are we going to do this? Because these are the things that people just do away, like, they just throw it away like it's something like, but you're in a relationship, a committed relationship, that all of those matters should be discussed. And I think that this is another thing. So maybe you come once in a year, you guys get intimate, but you've left and your wife say, I'm pregnant, too. You don't know that it's the one that she collected from your gate man or from your neighbor or something.
Gate man is crazy. Why is that such a trope? I've noticed. What's it with the gate man and madam sleeping?
That's the available man now.
I keep seeing things like... And it's easier. I've noticed in Nigerian movies, it's so popular. I'm like, how often did this happen?
Some of them, these gate man, they have muscles.
So I think that's one of the issues, People are not talking about these things in their relation, even in relationships. Like, if you're in a committed relationship, these are all of the things that you should discuss. Oh, we're going to be apart, long-distance relationship. In fact, even in the same Nigeria, there are couples who don't live together. There are couples who have to, maybe because of a work situation, they have arrangements that, okay,
True.
I work in Port Harcourt or I work in Abuja and you work here. And of course, maybe it's okay for you guys because maybe the finances are good and all of that. You can fund your lifestyle. And then you don't take into consideration the fact that you guys have needs. No. And if you have a need as a man, you don't consider your wife's needs.
Yeah.
So you go and come in 3 months, like in 4 months, in 5 months, and
1
everything
year
is normal.
plus.
No.
And she's human. Oh.
It's crazy. It's shocking. It's crazy.
But
People
anything
like
can
to,
go
anything
wrong
could
in that
go
situation.
wrong, and it's not.
And you don't even know if you have good friends. You know all these friends that you say, check up on my wife.
No, check in.
It will
Check
shock
down.
you. It will shock you. Like even currently, like
no.
there are men that they are just looking for an opportunity
Yeah.
to get with their friends, babe. Like they are always like they are very, very on the, and it will shock you because they will actually fully trust these guys or these men. They will not believe. If you even ask some of them, it's like, do you think that your friend could go outside your girl? Say no, you can never do that. Bro code. Oh no.
Bro code.
Bro code now. But not knowing that he's been steadily.
Bro code is helping your
It will shock you. I watched one video. I watched one video.
Bro hands.
I watched this video of this guy. They did a prank where it was even the girl self. It was girls. So the guy called the girl's friend in front of her, asking, "Oh, have you seen?" First, to see if she'll cover for her. So assuming his girlfriend is somewhere she shouldn't be or something, would the friend now lie and say, "Oh, she's with me"? So ask the girl, "Hey, are you with Naomi?" She said, "No, I'm not with Naomi. I don't know where she is right now, but I'll text her. I'll find out, And then I said, "Okay." Now started complimenting her. "Oh, you're so beautiful. You're so pretty. You have such a nice smile. We don't really talk like that." Now she was now blushing. She was blushing. She was like, "Oh my goodness, thank you." And then after that, he now said, "Okay, that we should hang out sometime, but please don't tell Naomi." The girl, and see Naomi sitting down there waiting to see what her friend will say. And the friend said, okay, that's fine. When we meet, like, and the guy ended the call. I was like, "See the guy friend when you get." And it's crazy because there are people that are like that. It's happening. Because this is somebody that, even if it's a fake scenario that the boyfriend just said, "Let's see what will happen."
Yeah.
The normal response should be like, "I don't think we should be talking. I don't think we should be." But it will shock you how many of your friends are actually literally just waiting for your downfall or jealous of what you have, or they want to get something from you. And that applies the same when it comes to like these partners that they will not really believe. It will shock you that most of this paternity fraud, the actual father is somebody
someone
that's
close.
Someone close. Our brothers.
It can be.
And they are aware that
you're married, that this is your wife.
Yeah. So it's actually men. Someone was arguing is that it's men that are getting involved with these married women.
Yes.
Like, still men they impregnate. Do you understand? It's not like they're picking up pregnancy. So why you guys you will first respect yourself.
And sometimes
why are you guys getting entangled with married women?
And sometimes the people you trust are the ones that will shock you.
Yeah.
That's just it.
That's going to be the person that has actually, will do the most malicious thing or go after.
The ones that are close enough to know the dynamics of that relationship.
Because not to say that, let's excuse the women.
We are not excusing.
Do not make it. Don't think anyway that we are trying to excuse. We are trying to explain the reasons why this will happen from both parties. Okay.
We'll get to that part.
I'm already smelling the comments. Smelling the comments. No, we are not saying that women. We are not supporting women cheating. Whatever it is, if you're a woman and you're committing paternity fraud, there's no excuse.
Very bad.
It's evil. It's wicked. It's witchcraft.
Let's even talk about the fact that infidelity is one of the number one issue. The fact that people are actually involved in relationships that they no longer feel interested, or they are no longer in love with the person that they are with. Yet they stay. And then maybe get involved with someone else. Maybe there's someone out there and they feel better about that person and they're involved with this person. And then of course that relationship is not just platonic, it's become maybe romantic and you're involved with that person, but this other person is the one that is official. Everybody knows this is my husband, or like it's official, like especially in a marriage situation, this is my husband, but I no longer feel like that. Maybe he has cheated in the past or he has done a lot of stuff in the past, but you are not living because maybe societal pressure, the society frowns at being single or divorcees as women, and you're staying.
Another
and then you
funny
go
thing-
and get involved with another man and get pregnant, and you have to bring it home.
I think the
another funny
problem
thing is
is
just that some women, there's this saying, women don't marry for love, they marry for money, but they still keep in touch with the one they love.
and
That's a
yeah,
rubbish saying.
there's
And to
another
some
saying.
extent,
There's
it's
another saying
true.
I've heard that's
It's
like
true.
the male
Men don't
version of
mar-
that.
men don't
Men
marry
don't
for-
marry who they love. They marry who is convenient. at the
So that's
time.
just
So-
the two things now.
So yeah, I think the problem is that a lot of couples in Nigeria, as it is, do not even go for the person that they are genuinely drawn to, like that. They just who is the most convenient, who can take
Who
care
is
of me,
ready?
who is
and
the
who is
reasonable
ready.
person right
Yeah.
now that I can just get married to. And people see it, and it's a good idea, but at the end of the day, long term, if you don't actually make those actionable decisions every day, because a lot of people, they'll just use that charming bad dates and all those things just to get in a relationship, get married. After the first 3 years, all those things kind of
It's gone.
stop.
No
They
energy to
no
keep up.
energy. They don't put energy. Not to mention when kids come in, and it now becomes a
Yeah.
depressing this thing.
Yes,
And the
yes.
moment you now see, whether it's from outside, whether a man is seeing it outside or a woman is seeing outside, they see a kindle, a spark, what it felt like to be, romanticized and all that again.
Yeah.
They will be drawn
It
to
goes
it.
That's
there.
Whether it's the small things like, someone getting dressed up and dolled up to try and impress you as a guy, and then the small things like someone showing the initiative to maybe take you out and be like,
just care
grand
about
gestures
you,
and
get
stuff
you
like
a
that.
gift,
Get you a gift, care
remember
about
your
you,
birthday.
remember the little things
Yeah.
about you. You
It's
notice on both
yes.
sides, because it's not, I don't think it's just one particular
it's
gender
not.
that's because
it's
both people get married, they say, we are married now, so that means you don't need to.
Relax.
But at the end of the day, we are human beings, and those things that even drew us in the first place or drew you in the first place
Is what we
will
need to
still
take
be
on.
valid.
Yes,
It will be valid, once in a while. So that's why when I see these couples that plan trips and get each other gifts and things like that, like they are really doing the work. They're being intentional, and that intentionality just should not stop existing once the ring gets on the finger or once the kids come into the picture. I think that's something that should be discussed. Okay, how can we keep this love, this spark thriving for as long as possible? Because people do fall out of love.
Fall
And
out
I
of
don't
love.
think love is like something that is
It's like forever, like
Falling
It's
out
not
of
any-
love.
falling, we cannot get out again.
it's not even just that. It's just like
Falling out of
it's
love.
more than that emotion. I feel
Yeah,
like
very
when
bad.
it's actually love, that is really deciding to choose a person over and over again, really deciding to be intentional with a person over and over again. You actually always have to pick intentionality, no matter how tired or boring. Because at the end of the day, if someone shows you that intentionality right now, you feel it.
Yes.
You feel it when people are intentional. Remember the little things, remember the little details. Like, maybe randomly mentioning something like, oh, I remember when I was small and I used to eat bobo. I used to drink bobo. I loved bobo. And then the next day you come back and you say carton of bobo. That is bound to make anybody that may be feeling a little lackluster like, wow. It will really bring up a lot. And I think people forget that and people get lost in the sauce when it comes to...
So how about those ones that
So-
they get gifts, they are surprised, they go for trips, but yet still cheat?
No,
What
those
could be
ones,
the
those ones
problem?
genuinely don't care. This message I'm saying is for the people that genuinely care. And they genuinely want a difference. Because
Yeah.
it's not everybody that wants.
No, but
Some people
I think
want
I
to,
get your point. The fact that most people just abandon their relationships to just work on autopilot without doing anything about it. And then, of course, you fall out of love, and then you begin to look at the other person that is maybe more intentional, more
Yeah.
available, has
Because
time
that
for
wedding ring,
conversation.
that wedding ring will never stop.
Simple things as conversation in the
Sessions.
office can get you entangled in a messy relationship.
more.
Like a small conversation. Oh, how are you? Oh, let's go to lunch. And then somebody brings lunch, and you're beginning to, because women are like that.
Yeah.
I've heard that story, that analysis that women are emotional beings.
Yeah.
Men are logical. To an extent, I may agree, because women, a little thing tends to get to women's feelings.
Yeah.
And so if you are the one who is intentional about caring, and a criminal that wants to take your wife knows exactly how to do it. All you just need to do is, if they are working in the same office, just show up every day.
Compliment.
Sometimes you don't even need to buy a gift. You just
Yeah.
need to be constantly texting her, like on the phone. How are
Yes.
you? Did you eat? Oh, I like that.
Your hair was so fine.
Because that wedding ring is not, the wedding ring is not going to stop that
You
attention.
know, so that's how people get entangled in relationships that they have no business being there. Because I mean, from the other side, they're not really getting the attention they want. Now, that's not even to to cancel the fact that it's wrong.
It's
But these are the
very
things that
wrong.
happen if you don't take care of your relationships. If you're not intentional, that's the word. If you're not intentional about keeping that flame going. There's a chance that someone else can easily get in.
But I think there are implications and consequences of this paternity fraud.
Yeah, there are very serious.
Especially
What
on
kind
the
of
children.
implications are there?
I feel like paternity fraud, eventually, I think with any form of deception and any form of lie, things can happen, okay?
Yeah.
It can very easily turn into a very big messy situation that shouldn't even have been happening.
Yeah.
You don't know how your husband is going to react if he actually finds out. You don't know nobody's going to be on your side. Nobody's going to be a support system for you, because everybody's literally going to look at you.
And that's even why people shouldn't even be in
Don't
relationships.
even.
If you have begun to feel like you've lost
lost
the
it, just
relationship has
leave.
lost the pack, and you really cannot rekindle that love.
Yeah.
But
Pack your bags, have a conversation and go.
Go and live your
because
go and live
if
your
you keep
single
staying,
promiscuous
yes, go
life
and-
in peace.
Yes, go and do whatever
You
you
don't
want
need
to
to
do in
drag
peace.
someone.
Sometimes it's not just the husband that is affected. The children, they've lost their identity. They don't just know who they are anymore, because this is a home they grew up, and all of a sudden, they just wake up one morning and say, "Junior, daddy is not your daddy. There's another daddy
that would
somewhere."
be very,
So
very,
now
very
Junior now is
uncomfortable.
now like, if this is the future consequences,
And
because
then it can
growing
also
up to know that this is not your
change their
father, and they went and
emotions.
brought in one man from nowhere,
Yeah.
No,
and say,
I
"This
don't
is-
think it
this
happens
is
like
your-
that, Sha.
This is your father."
It
When
doesn't
you run
always
with
happen
DNA,
like
yeah,
that.
it doesn't happen like that. I think it happens like, okay, there's a DNA, and the man has to decide. If it's a man that really cannot take it, he now has to decide, do I let go of this?
I think
Because
the
it's like,
scenario is going to be that scenario now is if the partner is immature and
Yes.
self-centered
Yeah. There are a lot of
and
things, yeah.
narcissistic. So if it's like a narcissistic parent,
Yeah.
a self-centered father or something, it will blow up and it's going to turn into, because I think a real considerate, caring parent
Yes.
will most likely will be like, you know what, it was a
let's
long
talk
time
about
ago.
it. After
Let's
all,
talk about
because
it. Let's
women
hide
are praying
it.
for their husbands every day. You know, I watched there's this paternity fraud court cases they used to have. They
Yes,
used to
you are
film,
not the
yes.
father.
I watched that, and
Paternity court.
yes, paternity court, and that woman brought maybe like 3 children. Like, after checking all of this one is not your child.
Hell fire.
The next one was not the
You are
man's
not
child.
the father.
The
Then
one
the
after
last
that was
one,
not the man's
yeah.
child, and
That
of
one
course
is
the man
just
was
to
broken.
collapse.
But these are children that he has known for more than 10 years. I think the youngest would have been around maybe 15 or 16. So it's not something that you just throw away. Like, yes, they may not be my children, but I've known them. I've been their father for this number of periods.
And they also know me.
And they know me as father. How do I throw all of that away?
No, not everyone can. No, not
No,
everyone.
but look at it this way. Because at that time that man has spent maybe 20 years of his life taking care of those children is probably maybe closer to 50 or 60, and you're saying, let me go and start another life. They don't throw it away like that. Yes, I know there are consequences. That relationship may never be the way it used to be.
It's not really the
But
same.
to throw away the relationship with the children is another thing entirely. It takes maybe a younger person who is not really mature, who
Yeah.
is not
But
considerate
some
about
people,
those
Because if
they
you have a
divorce
low,
their
because that happens
wives.
if you're
They
like very
divorce their
narcissistic.
wives.
Yeah, very narcissistic, low emotional intelligence.
Yes.
That's what's going to happen. And yeah, you just said they're divorcing their wives.
But,
Yeah, probably
yeah.
divorce is something that's going to happen. But even if that divorce happens, it would be a good thing
So
because
the custody of the children
custody
now.
of the children, it should be shared now. I don't know. I know shared custody is. I
but
feel
it's no
shared
longer my
custody.
children.
It's no
So,
longer your children
go and
now,
give
so
it to
it's
the
going to be
person that
very
owns it.
difficult.
It
now.
will be very
Yeah,
difficult. like I said,
yes.
like she said, it will take a very, very, very like low emotional intelligence to decide to do that, and like very high amount of self-centeredness to just completely cut those kids out of your life, because they are adoptive parents and there are people that will show so much, love and
Love,
care
yeah.
towards children that are not
They are not,
biologically
yes,
theirs.
biologically,
This is
yeah.
who I've known all my life. So
Well,
if there's a divorce, shared custody, I think even in that term, this thing of divorce, I think parents should be considerate of, no matter what my partner has done bad against me, like they've not done that bad to these children. These children
Yes, the
will not
children are
understand.
innocent.
They are innocent.
Yeah.
Let them not suffer because of our bad relationship. They do need it, because when you now decide to, oh yeah, fine, this person did like this, so the children are going to stay with me, and or stay with this person I don't want to see. Those children are not going to see it as their mother did something wrong. They will see it as, oh, we are not
Their father is
lovable.
not, yeah.
We are not lovable. We are not deserving. Of course, what do you mean that I get it? Yeah, he's not our biological father, but what do you mean he threw 15 years away with us?
Yeah.
But,
Away.
you know,
Because I know I think there was this argument, and they were like, okay, the men who actually take that responsibility, they are seen as heroes. Yeah, hero dads, like, because like but I'm like, women do it every time. So what's hero?
well,
about it?
before, let's say after
Wait,
15
first.
years, if a
Women
man
do it every time. Women taking children that they did not birth. Every time. Look at the Nigerian society. You see that
Okay.
men have children outside a lot. In fact, recently, I think Christy Basore's story was flying around. I don't know if you guys have seen it. The husband
It
had that
happens now.
relationship, and the only thing she said when she came back was, it's either you bring that child back here, told the girl that got pregnant for the husband. It's either you bring that child here or you go and never say a word about that pregnancy. Just go. Don't be coming to look for it. Or you give birth to that child and bring for me, I'll take care of the child. And she raised that child, and the child never had to know that she didn't belong directly to the family, like, or it was another man. She raised that child as though it was hers. And maybe like 20 years later, before they finally said, oh, this is your mom. They finally called the girl and said, this is your mom. This is what happened. I don't know if they told her the story, but she was much older, and she chose this. You have always been my mom. So I don't know what you're talking about, something like that. So
for me,
I actually think
think-
that it depends though on the dynamics of that relationship, on the dynamics of the whole situation. If it's a long-term thing, I mean, there are people who keep that lie for 10 years, 15 years, because it's the woman that knows the true biology of that child.
Yeah.
So there are women who even take it to their graves. There are women who even take such lies to their grave, but there are people who keep it for a long period of time. And if that child has stayed with you for long, that child is yours. For me, that child is yours.
Well, I think before a man
Even
decides to
if-
run a DNA test on the children, if it was something that he decided to accept those children, there would have been no need of running the DNA test.
No,
But
well,
before
the
a man
DNA test-
decides to run a DNA test on the children, and if he realizes those children aren't his, a whole lot of men wouldn't want to accept
Sometimes,
those children again.
there was a conversation that a lady who works in one of these fertility clinics, and it's like, there are people who go DNA testing just out of malice, like, my wife looks like this, I called my wife and somebody picked up, or stuff like that, funny things, and then they run a DNA test. You know, sometimes like, oh, we had an argument and the woman will say, are you sure the children are your own self? And then, women talk like that, are you sure they are your children?
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just
I heard a story about a man who had an argument with the wife. So he told the wife that the wife is smelling, that no man would want to have the wife as a woman. The wife said, hey, you think you are good enough. After that's why these children are not even your children, because you cannot even impregnate a woman. So the man ran, he took the 3 children for a DNA test, and those children were his children. When he came by, he asked, what kind of noise? He said, hey, now, you look for my trouble and I give you double. At least you wasted money for that.
So most of those tests are run out of maybe just small malicious situation, and people just have to run DNA tests.
But is this paternity
fraud
a crime? And are there any legal consequences?
If there are legal consequences,
I think maybe
does anyone go to prison for?
I don't think anybody goes to prison, but I think you can. I think it's a case. Yes, I think you can sue the woman. Yes. I think it's a case that can't be taken to court, because you can say, oh, my financials thing, something you can. I think it's something, a case
deception,
that can be made.
Deception.
You can make a case against it, but it's not that popular.
Nigeria, they don't have specific laws addressing paternity
that
fraud.
Situation. Yeah, because I mean, if it's just that like we know and we say and we acknowledge, men are most Nigerian women will agree that men are polygamous. So it has never been an issue for a man to sleep around, to be adulterous, to have many sexual partners. But it's always an issue for a woman to be that. So that's why it's become an issue for a woman to bring the fruit of her multiple engagements back home. Yes, that's why it's become an issue for that. So it's not, I don't think the punishment would be that, maybe legal consequences. Maybe you can sue for that deception, but the real issue is the fact that nobody should be put through that situation. You shouldn't put anybody through that situation where you make them believe a thing that is a lie. You really should not put anybody through that. And if you get to the point where you're not taking responsibility for your own actions, or you're unable to take responsibility for your own action, if you get to that point, then you have to now put it on someone, then you are not a good person.
Yeah.
You are not somebody someone should have a long-term relationship with, because I would insist that if you get to a point where you think that relationship is not something that you want to nurture, it's not something that you see a future with that partner, leave quietly. Have a conversation like a normal human being. Sorry, sir. There used to be sparks before, but it's like they are sparking me somewhere outside there. Let me go and be sparked properly. Yeah, because eventually you're going to bring something back to the house. There's just no way as a woman. It's only a man that can go and bring maybe STI, and that's all. But you if somehow, one day you forget, and before you know it, you're pregnant. And then you bring it. There's no reason why it should be like that. But
there are some cultural, all these traditional implications on women who go for this infidelity, who are infertile. Oh, sorry, who cheats in marriage. Yeah. So there is this, like the one we know here, Ipon. So there are these traditional consequences on women, that when a woman cheats, when she puts to bed, it is either the mother dies with the baby. But now, yes, there are some traditions aside Akwa Ibom. So there are some other states with consequences.
There are people,
additional consequences.
Like I think in the South, they have a situation where a man can actually put the wife under that spell. If she sleeps with another man, the both of them can. There's a way they call it magun. If you sleep with another man, the both of you will just be in that position till a sacrifice is done. Yes. So, but it's husbands that put that spell on their wives.
Okay.
If they think that the wife is cheating, they put the spell on their wives.
So, is there a female equivalent for them to put on their husband?
I don't think so.
But the funny thing is
that what's popular is that the man normally would.
The funny thing is that when this woman cheats, it is the man that had the affair with her. So when this Epunkawe is attacking this woman, how about the man that impregnated her?
It doesn't. Because even look at the scripture. The woman that was caught in an adulterous act where men were rushing after her to stone her. No, it was just her alone. So where was the man?
The man.
They caught her with? He wasn't there. But the men ran after her like they want to kill her. And then it's like, guys, if una never do this thing before, make the first person, you
And
just cast
the
it.
fact that
stone
nobody
the
cast
police.
it,
You
so
know
that everybody that was
yes.
everybody that
It
was
goes to
guilty
show
of
that every
something.
single one of those men that came after her were guilty. So they
Wow,
left
it's
one
so
after
sad.
the other till there was nobody. Can you imagine how many, like, maybe the Bible didn't paint a picture of how many people, but I'm sure it wasn't 10.
Yes.
It definitely wasn't 10 and it wasn't 15. Neither was it 20. So every one of them dropped their stones and they left. Before Jesus told the woman, go and sin no more. Yourself, no do again. You said no do again. But, it goes to show that every time the light is always on the woman involved in that situation. Most times, never the man. And,
Because
sometimes...
for a very long time,
Yeah.
women were very akin and likened more to property than people. So it's like, it's just like, why would you take my shoe? Why will you carry my slippers? It's a very disrespectful thing for someone to just come and take what's
on your
yours
shoe.
without
Yeah.
asking.
Without asking.
Yes, it does it, and that's the same attitude a lot of these people carry. They don't really view it as, oh, this is a full person. This is a
Full-grown
person.
human being,
This is
yeah.
a being.
You're right.
So it's like it becomes this whole thing, and that's why I think a lot of times they just bear it like this is like the wrongdoer per se, because it's like you be bringing shame upon the family, the man,
The
and
house,
all that.
your
and
family
it's expected.
your
family, yeah.
you brush
Because it's
shame on
expected.
Brush shame, yes.
It's expected that you use your.
So at least I
you're
just want to
well-behaved.
pass this message to women. See, paternity fraud is not just it's not just a simple tale of unfaithfulness. It is a deadly combination of adultery, shock, betrayal, regret, as in shattered dreams, even turbulent
Also think of
future.
the baby
So please,
that
you're having.
it should
Think of
be
the children
avoided.
involved.
This rank that we have taken higher, let's bring it down. Because Nigeria, like they rank second after Jamaica globally. So imagine with about over 200 million people that we have here in Nigeria. If this continues, we will rank number 1 because Jamaica, there are just over 2 million people. Then Nigeria, over 200 million. So if we continue, we rank number 1. And this rank no makes sense. Please, let's come down. This
Of
title,
all the
we
things
don't
to
need
be
it.
ranking
Of
for.
all the things.
Of all the things to
It's
rank
like all the things to be
rank second.
It could not be the second richest country. We chose
Seriously.
to be the country with the highest number of fake
Of
It is
unfaithful.
very
faithful
bad.
wives.
No, it's crazy.
It's very bad. So
crazy.
please,
It's
let's try and
crazy.
avoid this.
I
Okay.
actually think that one of the biggest messages we should be passing to women is the fact that you really do
okay.
not have to be in a relationship to validate your womanity.
Your
Like,
womanhood at
you know,
all.
your womanhood. You really do not have to be in that relationship. If it really is not working, then value yourself. Because the idea that you have to, there are women who are living a lie, they're living it for years. And like I said, there are women who go through it for the rest of
And
their
they
lives.
encourage
never
other
say
women.
anything.
Yeah.
And they encourage other women to also
Yes,
go through
to
it.
see
like
how
that.
I sorted my own. Yeah, go and check your own and do, and you're going to leave that situation for so long. As in, how is anybody, why should anybody put themselves through that? There's no reason. And I
There's no
think that
reason.
the biggest advice should be actually value yourself. Value yourself as a
yourself.
woman. You really do not have to be in every relationship. If there's a relationship that is not working for you, whether the man is not meeting the standard that you thought, or, a lot can go wrong. Maybe in a marriage, a whole lot can go wrong. And if you get to that point where you really cannot stay together with that person, get advice, get consult and talk about it and move on. Yes,
'Cause as
move on
bad
like a
as-
normal human being.
because as
Don't
bad
drag
as
another
people are
person
now
into
seeing
that.
it.
Yes.
Because as bad as stigmatized as you want to say divorce is, as bad as you want to say, even if it's from a religious standpoint, anything else like option you want to go and go
Yeah,
for
it's
infidelity,
worse.
adultery. It's
Yeah,
not
it's
worth
worse.
it.
It's not working.
It's worse because what you're saying is that rather than live an honest life, I would lie to protect an image, a very fake image, and I think that's even more diabolical because it's based on deception. You choose to deceive, lie, and pretend rather than end it and be honest.
And be honest,
yes.
yeah.
And what's
and
the
have
reason?
some peace,
And have some peace
because you're
towards
gonna
yourself.
be sneaky all your life.
You're scared
Because
all
even
your
if you want
life.
to do, okay, my
Seriously.
husband did this, he cheated on me, you want to cheat back, like, just leave.
Yeah,
Walk away. If it's something that
that's
communication,
another thing that is a big issue.
if
Because people are
communication
like,
and understanding cannot bring
Yes,
both of you
yes.
to a place where we are like, okay, we can continue this, leave. It's an option now. We have a right that so many women before us could only dream of having, and use it to your advantage. And that's why we always preach and say it's important for you to be independent and have your own money. So when things go south, it's not a situation of, oh, I can't leave him because it's his house. This is my shelter.
He's
This
my
is my
everything.
He's my everything.
Literally.
And it puts you completely under that control.
Yeah.
You should have that freedom. Anything your husband gives you should be an addition, not your source of life or source of living. The same way your husband can take care of everybody in the family, I think women should strive to take care of everybody as well. To be able to. It can be draining. That's why you should even when it comes to even being in a relationship, it should be a mutual support system.
yes,
And then there should also be some transparency for those that love pinning on innocent men. When you're pregnant and you don't like a certain guy and you want to marry this one, just open up. Oh God, I really want to end up with you, but I mistakenly got pregnant for another person. Will you continue?
Why
Transparency.
Why were you
actually-
in two relationships at the time? You want to
let's
get
just
married
say-
because
let's
marriage
just say
is not
it
something that
happened.
you wake up and say, "I'm going to marry you." It's something that you've built that relationship. Why were you in that
But
relationship
it's
and in
even
another?
better you
say
open
it
up.
happens.
You
how?
open up. Although
Yeah,
it's very
yeah.
bad.
It's very
it's
criminal.
bad.
You should be locked up. If you agree, you should be locked up. You're a criminal. They're supposed to pick you up.
Or you go and do what these people went and did. Abi Will Smith and Jada. That when they felt dissatisfied, say, "Oh yeah, let's open it."
They opened
it,
and
and even
allowed
if they had wahala,
everybody to come.
and
When they
invited
have wahala,
everybody,
they will settle it on the internet.
settle it on podcasts like this.
On
Now.
podcast.
But then whatever that was, if you guys want to, because I think there are people that they do end up
Yes,
having
they're
open
cool.
relationships,
Yeah.
and that's what works for them. Anyhow they want to do it. I feel like it's very impractical in the sense that I think the hormones that are released in intimate relations already will cause jealousy is inevitable. It will be there. It's always going to be there. That jealousy, that somehow feeling, it will be there. And I think that's why we even evolved as a group of people that was like, monogamy is what's going to work, because
works better,
those hormones make problems. If you're marrying multiple
Seriously.
wives, those wives will actually
They'll fight.
they'll
Scatter
be
everywhere.
jealous
There'll be no
about each
peace,
other.
yes.
And it's not just because it's the hormones. That's how our bodies operate. That's how our bodies are reacting. It's a self-defense mechanism. It feels, my position is being threatened right now.
Yeah, you can
That
fight.
is what happens. So if you guys want to discuss that, talk about it, navigate that, because some people genuinely
Don't want to be tied down.
they don't want to be tied down. They don't have it in them. They cannot let go. It will shock you. And they end up having like a lot of relationship this is on both genders. Like in both genders, it will shock you the amount of women or girls that physically cannot stay faithful. It's something that's very hard for them. If they are a lot of men that are also like that, it will shock you, and they should find each other.
They should join. And the unfaithful
join
ones, the unfaithful ones.
So
The
what I
faithful
say
with
is
the
that
faithful ones.
be able
They
to try
should
and
be like
discuss.
that.
It's not everybody that has that self-control or has the discipline to bring themselves to that level of self-control, and it's a reality that a lot of us live.
We are not.
So it's either you end up being a person that decides to lie all the time or fix your problems, or
Like you said, it's an actual reality that we are still denying. We are living in denial about the fact that there are actually people who do not know how to be faithful.
Yeah.
There are people who shouldn't be in an exclusive relationship.
yeah.
So you're thinking it's marriage, so you're going to learn to be faithful. I think I was talking with a young man. I was like, So you think when you get married you're gonna be faithful? This is someone that's had like maybe more than 100 partners, like as a young man. I'm like, are you saying that you think that when you get married you're gonna be faithful? Like, maybe when I get married, I say you're not going
No,
to be
it's
faithful.
going to be worse.
You're not going to be faithful. Like,
Be
as a
worse.
marriage doesn't make you any better. You are just the person that defines how your marriage goes. And so there are actually people who do not have intent to stay exclusively for another person. Maybe there are people, I don't know what could be the problem, but and there are people like that and they are living in denial because society frowns at that, especially for women. Especially for women, society frowns at that. So, like you said, it would have been an easier thing to actually have a conversation with somebody. I have this challenge. I really cannot stay faithful. I do not want to be married to you. I do not want to be married to you because I'm going to cheat.
It's a problem.
No, seriously.
Because I do feel there are some
what I
cheaters
think
that
is
they are
that-
not actively, like, there are some cheaters that they're not actively looking
Thinking,
to be like that. They are actually like, oh,
Yeah,
you
they're
know,
not
just like,
actively scheming.
they're not
the next
scheming
year.
like,
It
oh,
just
I want
happens.
to. As much as we say it just happens, doesn't just happen. It's a very thing you do.
Unfaithful
Because you've had
partners, stick with
options to
unfaithful
stop.
partners. Faithful ones,
Yeah.
stick with faithful partners. The whole thing is about cheating. Makes sense. So if you know you can't stay one place, just find someone that cannot stay one place and
Both
stick
of
with
you
that
be
person.
deceiving yourself.
Then you know you can stay one place, look for someone because they plenty. You stay, but unfaithful one meeting with faithful ones, you are making life difficult for that person. So please, let's just make the world a better place. And lastly, let's bring this rank down. Let's just bring it to 100 and something. This number second, this number two. I don't
Number
like
two
them.
is
It don't make
crazy.
sense. It's very bad.
I'm sorry, but
So,
being number 2 is crazy.
it's crazy. So,
In the grand scheme of all the countries in the world.
and in 5 years, if this continues, be number one. Or let's say in 2 years.
I think that maybe solutions that could go up for these matters is to now talk about these things.
Yeah.
Talk about the fact that unfaithfulness is something that is possible. And, the idea is that we've sold, especially with the advent of social media, we've sold the idea that, women exploit yourself, men exploit yourself, everybody be free, everybody do what you like, you only owe yourself an explanation, you owe no other person. And then you go and sleep with someone and then you get pregnant and you pin another person, you owe them an explanation. If you are in an exclusive relationship with them, if you're in a marriage situation with them, you definitely owe that person an explanation. And you don't get to decide how the person reacts to that thing you did. You don't get to decide how. If they get angry, fine, they are okay. They should react. You don't get to decide how they react. You definitely owe them. So we should teach the society, we should talk about the fact that there are consequences to these actions. We don't just go and do what we like when we feel like because, we are Gen Z, we are Gen X, we are Gen A,
W.
Gen whatever. We do what we like and we get away with it. No. There are consequences to every action, and then you're going to have to sit down and count the cost before you go ahead and make that go into that venture. Sit down and count the cost. If I get pregnant now for this man and I'm married here, what happens with the child? How does that child grow? What if he finds out? You just when you're done counting, you realize that venture is not worth it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it, and so you can choose a better approach to whatever you're going through in that marriage. I mean, that's my take.
That's okay. So I think we've come to the end of this session, and I hope you enjoyed it. And please don't forget to drop your opinion in the comment section. Like, subscribe, follow, and share.
Yeah.
Okay? And lastly, please, this rank, let's bring it down. Let's do better women. Love you. See
Thank you.
next
Bye-bye.
time. Bye.
Bye.